Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for current events in the online fitness community. And I actually had several requests for this. I jumped in and I watched Greg's video. I want to take a very mature, reasoned response to all of this. And this is again where I just kind of go, oh, fitness community. This is what happens when all of the PEDs and the ego and just the mental illness involved with the whole fitness world just kind of comes to a head, unfortunately. And someone pointed out to me, yeah, this involves Shane Hunt. He used to post on your channel. I'm like, yeah, he did. I remember that. I remember him being a good kid. He was a good kid. And he was real strong, crazy strong lifter. Right, he was crazy strong, and I guess he's continued to go on to get stronger. Props to the kid there. But apparently, there was an altercation or so with him and Greg Doucette. And I watched the back and forth as Greg presented it. And here's what I have to say on it. Look, obviously Shane was not in the right to do what he did. His behavior, obviously suggests the kid's going through a lot. And that's very, very clear. And I hope that he does maybe talk to someone about it, what he's going through. The kid's going through some stuff. And it's very clear to me, and I think it's very sad when you have a lifter of his potential, right? But here's the thing. My concern is the way that Greg presented this. He tried to pretend that he was taking a high ground. And he really didn't. To stand there and point out that you think someone needs some help, they're going through some mental illness, but to still call them out the way that he did, he tried to pretend, oh yeah, I'm going to take the high ground, I'm concerned for this kid, but he called him out in a way that he knows is going to cause him financial problems. Making sure that his sponsors see it, presenting it in a way that Greg knows that his fans are going to go mock this guy. They're going to go harass him. They're going to stir stuff up with him. He's possibly going to have to deal with some cancel culture stuff, right? And that's not a high ground, Greg. That's not a high ground. But, honestly, I don't expect the high ground from someone who sells scam supplements. Turkestone, ectosterone, all this stuff. This stuff that doesn't work, it's scams. Greg, it's scams. None of it works. You're making money selling this stuff. I don't expect you to take the high road. Now, do I believe when Greg says, hey, I'm happy, I'm a happy person, I'm making lots of money? Of course he is. He's making lots of money selling nonsense. And I'm not saying Greg isn't a strong guy. I'm not saying Greg doesn't train his ass off. Not saying he hasn't put his dues in. Now, you give credit where credit is due. Greg's put in his dues, but he's also beat up, busted up, clearly made some mistakes because he's not able to lift now that he's our age. He's not really able to lift very much at our age. He's definitely not benching 500 pounds like he used to. So he's beating himself up. And again, not to take anything away from the guy's accomplishments. He's been very accomplished as a power lifter and as a bodybuilder when he was a little younger. He beat his body into the ground. But the thing is, Greg, you're making a lot of money selling bullshit. And I get it. The fitness industry's built upon that. I get that most of the guys in this industry are selling garbage, okay? I get that. I understand it. I know it's par for the course. It's unfortunate, but it's reality. But the thing is, I'm sorry, this is just not a high road being taken, Greg. The manner in which you called him out was, again, fainting concern that, oh yeah, I'm worried about this kid, but that the way you presented it, he's going to get trolled, he's going to get harassed, he's going to get doxxed. And that's not appropriate. And here's what I would say to my followers. You know, I want you guys, if you look at all this, to step back, be rational people, and I don't want you to harass either one of these people about it. You know what? Because that doesn't make us good people either. Okay? 2 wrongs don't make a right. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Trolling and harassing people is just as wrong, if not more wrong, than what these people did. You know, Shane was definitely out of line, and I get that. I get that. Greg, I agree with you there. I think any reasonable person is going to say, yeah, that was a little fucked up. You know, not cool, dude. Not cool, dude. But don't pretend to take a high road when you stand there and you belittle someone who you just said right there. So if you honestly, if you really and truly believe that a person is dealing with a mental health crisis, you're not going to call them out in public. You're not going to mock them. You're not going to mock mental illness or trauma or whatever it is that they're going through. You know? And that's really normal in strength circles. And I hate to say it, you know, I hate to say it, but how many guys out there that we look at and go, that's, in some ways, that's the secret of their success. How many guys with monstrous deadlifts are carrying some real demons, you know? I think George Lehman comes to mind. You guys remember that over a decade ago when George Lehman came and talked about all that? Of why he used the name Baby Killer online and the demons and the struggles that he dealt with due to his childhood, but he used that to fuel his training. Man, we see that in the serious lifting world, dude. Some of your craziest champions, they're dealing with some demons. They go to a dark place in their mind. You start adding the trend and other stuff to it, you know. It happens. It's part of the game. It's unfortunate, and it's something that maybe I don't like about our sport, but I accept it. You know, but I guess my take on the whole thing, just watching the whole situation left a bad taste in my mouth. Obviously, Shane was in the wrong. He's obviously dealing with some stuff, you know, and I feel bad for the young man. I hope he's able to come through it all. But by that same token, you know, I don't feel that it needs to be mocked. It needs to be called out like that. Greg, you didn't take the high road. You probably brought more problems on this kid. You really did. That's not taking the high road, brother. That's not taking the route of compassion. That's not taking a route of love. That's hitting back below the belt while pretending to care about the kid. All right, that's not right, dude. It's not right. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.